And then if I put buildings you can walk on top of up there, then there would be like this great walking spot all along that, and that could actually then connect up with something over there. Oh, it's getting hot out now. Why am I doing this? What a whiner. Well, at least I'm doing it. I wonder if I can walk to that other ridge trail. I don't know if I feel like it. Here's a little pine right in the middle of the road. Needs to get moved. Want to move that? Want to move the pine tree for me? Move the pine tree. Dig it up. Do your job. What's your job? I'm not going to pay you. I get paid in food and love. Yeah, here's that spot right here. I guess I would be tempted to run that road all the way over to that ridge. Yeah, why not? Then I say 2 a second ago? Yeah, probably 2. Again, one-way roads. Loops. And then I've got some crazy plans for way over there that I don't know how it'll work out. But I've got that ravine to cross. And that'd be a great crossing point because across the ravine I want to put a building. Alright, I think I can shut this off for now since I'm not going to walk through there. Yep, I'll kill it. Done. A lot of these trees are doing real nice. All of those, if we clear underneath it, can provide really nice shaded spots. I don't even have a bench on this side of the land. Which kind of sucks because I'd like to sit down for a bit in the shade, relax, but nope. I don't like sitting on the ground very much. I can still barely bend my knees very well. I'm not flexible. Still too fucking injured. The other side of that X could actually come all the way over to here. I mean, if I did that X, well, there's going to be a lake in the way, so I got issues with things. That gully over there is a tricky one. It's a big decision to make, but I like the idea of having a place that has water on this side. And I did mention gray water before, but the problem is we probably would want to pre-process the gray water and have it go into smaller ponds that didn't smell bad. And the thing is that if I'm centralizing food production, then a lot of that, the truth is that the wastewater and the food waste can go to chickens, especially if I'm using soap that isn't toxic. And there shouldn't be any toxic soap anywhere on the property. That should be made against the fucking rules. Yep, one more goddamn rule because I'm a fascist rule maker. That's not what fascism means, by the way. Although I guess if I'm talking about making spots that are owned by the overall nonprofit that owns the overall property, or the between property spots, it's a little tricky. This is that ridge I said I didn't want to bulldoze down. But the truth is I should bulldoze down it. And this would be a walking road. I don't expect cars to go on it. If I do a 2-lane road over there, there'd be a different road that connects down there. And this would just be trail. There's already a small trail here. I don't know if I feel like walking on it right now. I don't. But down here's the beginning of the gully. And there's a really cool spot between here and the gully that's all protected forest. Beautiful spot. I thought about putting hermit huts in there. A place to escape to, and that still is a good option. It actually gets a fair amount of sun, so it's getting Actually, it doesn't get the morning sun very well, which is kind of sucky. Well, hermit houses can go wherever, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we're going to skip that. But I am going to mark this spot because it's important. So we're back on the GPS. Back on the GPS, I said. Thank you. Device should do what I tell it to most of the time. Okay, so we click this, we click that, we go over there, click that. Point 19. Yeah, I like that. And if we cut off some of this hill right here, we could dump, because there's going to be a road that goes along that slope up there. In fact, there already is the beginning of the road, so I have to GPS that as well. We can then dump that dirt over here and make a bigger flat spot right here. And I don't know what that's for, but, you know, a place to pull off the road. We could put a building even down in there that then juts up above. That would be okay. Be a great way to open that spot up. And we can get building materials in from the top. So, I mean, we could make a multi-story building right in here. Like a 3-story building comes up to right here. That'd be pretty cool. And this is another spot to then put a gatehouse. I mean, ultimately everything's a gatehouse. Anywhere you can pass through a gate, you design it so that somebody has control over that spot. You could even have electric doors so that somebody just has to push a button and it opens the door up and then it closes and it's fully secure. Ultimately, I guess you could put a key card system on it. So people, or you could even have different doors that have key cards that are even kind of secret doors. And people don't even know it's there. But we'll see. I did work at a corporation once that had key cards, and they were able to turn on and or off your access to various buildings and rooms even. So like we had some labs that, you know, you could just send someone an email and say, I'm doing this thing, I want access to this lab. And they would just turn on your access, and maybe they even have it on a timer so it goes off after a couple weeks or something. I don't even know. Yeah, there's that old road up there, and that road connects up with that piece of property over there. So that's actually a really critical road. It's a really important, cool road. And that doesn't have to be a car-worthy road. But again, if we're making one-lane roads, then you make it big enough for a car, and it may or may not develop into that. You know what desire lines are, right? That's where somebody builds a sidewalk or something, and then everybody just cuts through a different way because that's where they desire to go. And the desire lines are something we could ignore or build for. And so building temporary stuff like these dirt roads will actually help us experiment with where we might want something more permanent. It doesn't hurt the land. In this case, it would actually slow the flow of water down this slope. It would act like a swale. And we can figure out the exact slope of that little road up there. I could walk that right now, but I don't feel like it. I'd rather be doing this with somebody else, to be honest. Somebody with a machete, somebody to talk to. This is such a great slope right here. I mean, I can imagine benches up there. Over here, there goes a whole building. I'm going to mark that with the GPS as well. Did I turn it off or not? Good, I forgot to. Alright, so building goes over here. All this dirt goes in to fill the ravine over there because I have a massive choke point. And that's another reason to improve roads to get over to that piece of land from that top area and from this mid area. Because building a road down across the ravine over there is going to be a pain in the ass. It's totally doable, but okay, this is point 20. It'd be nice to see these points overlaid. And then I can run a trail going from somewhere in here down into that forested area, super forested. And that's actually really gorgeous down there. In that case, I want to put in parallel trails that go on contour and then connect those trails up with trails that go up and down slope. And like I said, that'd just be so perfect for hermit huts. Little places, spots can be in the middle of the woods. Little huts that just have a tiny, probably a little fireplace that just takes little branches and twigs and, you know, real small. And then little porch, something connecting it up to a composting toilet. I don't think every hut needs its own composting toilets, although I could build small ones, but I don't like building things small. I don't know, the cost of building a composting toilet the way I do it's very, very low. So it really wouldn't matter, and it would take years to fill up. But I mean, that could be such a cool spot. It could be booked all year, you know? Yeah, all year. Because it'd be warm. I would have them be warm. Especially if there's a little stove in it. The stove and the heater can be the same thing. They sell those little potbelly cast iron stoves. But yeah, it can be made of cob. Concrete ceiling to sit on top of. Rain capture is pretty rough in there because there's so much trees. And then this is the really critical spot, which I need a GPS. I forgot. I need to mark it. Because this is going to be a major transport hub. And I'm not sure, like do I make... D21. Do I make this be a 2-lane road there? Seems extreme. Or do I divide it off up there? If I can buy that land, do I run a road up that slope right there? Because I'm going to fill this in way up. I probably do. And then I have water flow go that direction. Well, either direction's fine. Any water I can get into this ravine is great, because we're going to put plants in it and plant reproduction. But I have thought about filling it up enough that then I can have a road that cuts on this slope, upslope that direction. And it might be dug in enough that it's like a tunnel almost, because that's very slopey. Not really though. Doesn't have to be. And then cutting it up far enough would actually let more light into the ravine, which I don't know that I want, because I want to keep that wet and moist in there. So I'm not liking this idea so far. In fact, I want to create hedges around it, hedgerows around it, to keep people from falling in, providing more space for wildlife. I want to have buildings near it that are capturing water, and then having that water be dripping into the moist ravine all year long, and have bird baths, and just have it be like a whole wildlife protected zone, that whole area up there. That would be really cool. And that'll work whether or not I own that piece of property or not. I mean, nobody's going to complain because I'm dripping a little water in there for wildlife. I don't know how wildlife even survives during the dry season here. It's too fucking dry. That's a whole other project. Get, 10 to 20 fairly decently sized water spots that are available all year long to birds. And the bird life would just go insane. It might take like 5 years, even 10, for birds to slowly discover and reproduce in this area more. And I could put in more bird housing. I mean, they can make nests, of course, but things like swallows want to be under roofs. All the owls are cavity nesters, which means you need to build owl boxes for them. That's why they call them barn owls, some of them. And I have owls here, but they don't have very good habitat, really. It's not good at all. So, I'm tempted to run a road instead of over there, run it up right here. Be kind of steep. It could also be that you come down this way and you go up that way. Because going down a slope is better than going up a slope in a vehicle, right? I think. I don't know that. But that's not a bad idea, because then I'm not widening roads more than I want to. I don't like 2-lane roads, like especially 2-lane roads where you're facing the other vehicle. I like one-way roads. In here, I can't do much about it. So I could widen this, make a road up there. In fact, as I widen this, I could instead cut it up. Yeah, I just start as low as possible, cut into slope, and go as much of an angle as I can. That would actually be not that bad a slope, especially the more I raise the bottom of it. That might be a decision here. I'm going to mark this spot as well. Shit. I did not mark 21 down there. I'm going to walk back down. I was supposed to hit it twice, and I just hit it once. God dang it. Ideally, the other benefit of having a person here is, I mean, I'm going to know what these points are because of where they're on the map, and I know the land really well. But ideally, we would have a list of all the points being created. There is actually a way to like enter in letters and stuff to label things. That's a pain in the ass with this interface. So, all right, we'll mark the very bottom of this. Because one of the things is the drone map is, I haven't seen the final yet, the final version. Now it does 22. Okay, I'll mark 22 here. Okay, stop marking things. God damn it. And then the other crazy idea up here, and I don't like this idea at all, and that is to put a road that goes from here down that direction towards a very much lower part of the land. I don't like that because there's a different way to get there, and I wouldn't want it to be an open road anyway, so it's going to have a building and a gate if it did have a road. But it is an option, you know, because you got to make places accessible. So many places are designed wrong, and I go into some towns and like, I mean, some towns were built after the car, but there's towns that were built before the car. Okay, so we're going to do it right here. This is the top 23 of where I would run a road down that direction. That's going to be a harsh road. And I mean, I would run it that way a lot, but I like this grove of oak trees over here a lot. And it would interrupt that grove of oak trees that I love so much. So I don't think that road is ever going to get built. I'm just not in favor of it. So there'll be a large area where you can't cross through. You know, I can put a stairway up there, that's fine. We can have ways that, you know, you can get there with feet. But bulldozing it, I just don't like the idea. Not a fan. Now we're arriving back into land I know really, really, really well. So, I don't know that I feel like GPSing that right now. I don't think I do. It's just going to get hotter and hotter out here. See you later.